So I don't know these people are behaving on me. They have been doing bad things on me. I went mad into it because of this issue. Now they are trying to kill me. Everybody in the whole world, please help me if I die. Oh, Amalia me now, Amalia kill me.
So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. People don't get the chance to pick the families they are born into. If we did, Promise Ileri Oluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, might just have picked a family a little bit more financially stable. Born on the 8th of June 1996 in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State, Mohbad was the perfect example of a trenches kid, a title he wore like a badge of honor. Somewhere along the line of his growing up, Mohbad lost his mother and was left in the care of his father and his stepmother. Some lyrics of his song has revealed that he never really got that much of care from her anyways.
10 years I no see money, stepmother no care.
After his primary and secondary education, he has revealed that his father assisted getting him admission into a polytechnic. But furthering his education wasn't working for him at all. He was all about the streets, all about his grind, all about his hustle. And before long, he dropped out.
Daddy got the money, make I go poly. I go poly, but I no go class, daddy, I am sorry.
With no decent job and no proper education, the harsh realities of life soon came biting hard at him. His hustling here and there could hardly sustain him. He had to go learn a skill.
I used to have two friends then too that do music too. But me, I used to make money from them, my carpenter work. So I used to pile all this money together and go to the studio. Those are my own first move. Like, I need to go and work then.
Mohbad had one innate talent, one interest, one passion, one that he could never put away. He loved to sing, rap, and entertain. Mohbad will constantly make covers of songs, trending songs from popular musicians, and post it to his Instagram page. He did one for Kiss Daniel, another for Techno, and in addition to that, he kept on releasing freestyles on his Twitter and Instagram handles. You know, he was just putting himself out there, selling himself, trying to gain visibility, and soon enough, he began to get noticed. The online growth came, the followership came, he became an online sensation. And you know what they say about a light being unable to stay hidden for long? He soon got noticed and caught the attention of music executive and owner of Malian Records, Naira Marley. And before long, he got signed into Naira Marley's record label as an artist. His life was about to change for the better, or maybe for the worse. Getting signed into one of Nigeria's biggest record label must have been a dream come true for Mohbad. His looks, lyrics, style of delivery came with that relatable street trenches identity. He and his music had a connection to the ordinary person on the streets. It stood him out and people loved him for it. In 2020, only 1 year after he was signed in, he collaborated with award-winning producer Rexy to release Kopoke, and gosh, that was a street anthem. The success of the song gave him more wings, more confidence to keep soaring. And by the end of that same year, he released his first studio album titled Light EP. This 8-track album was an instant hit. With over 25 million streams on Audiomack alone in its first month and 3 Headies nominations, this young star was surely heading to stardom. But he did not rest on his oars. he kept on dishing out great street relatable music, touching on issues that pertain to the average man in Nigeria. And when he came off with Feel Good, oh my gosh. His grace was truly automatic, because only a few years after getting into the industry, he had done so well for himself. He had 3 Headies nominations, 5 The Beats Awards nominations, topping several music charts. It was no argument at all that Mohbad had become one to look out for in the Nigerian entertainment industry. But this moving train was about to experience an abrupt halt. Trouble started for Mohbad in September of 2022, when he took to his social media account to call out his record label boss Naira Marley, accusing him of assault and violence. Taken to Instagram, he put up a video of himself beaten, bleeding and injured. And he said, "Just because I want to change my manager, which is their brother, see what they did to me at Malian House." He explained that his record label boss Naira Marley had unleashed his dogs on him, ordering his goons to beat him to a pulp simply because he chose to leave the record label and get a new manager. So in October of 2022, only 1 month after that assault incident, Mohbad took to his social media to release an official statement revealing that he has now cut ties and is no longer under the management of Malian Records. Now, it is still unclear why Mohbad chose to leave Malian Records only 3 years of being its signee. Some people consider it rather premature. They believe that Mohbad could have done with some more tutoring, some more guidance, some more benefiting from the brand and platform of Naira Marley. They believe that there was so much more that he could have gotten from his boss, who had a lot more experience and connection in the industry. They wondered why this young lad was in such a rush to leave. And on this question, there have been many speculation. The first suspicion was that of ripoff, and that is not new to a lot of us. Some people suspected that Mohbad was being so thoroughly ripped off by Malian Records. Come on, we have heard of circumstances where these record label bosses take up to 90% of the earnings of these artists, leaving them with crumbs and peanuts to survive on. That was the first suspicion. The more popular suspicion, one that made it round the streets of social media, was that Naira Marley was allegedly trying to use Mohbad to peddle drugs. People had accused Naira Marley of being a drug peddler, a drug lord, and that he disguises as a record label boss to use these signees to push his illegal and illicit drugs. That is number 2. The third and the most popular on the streets is that Naira Marley was allegedly trying to force Mohbad into cult-related activities, trying to force him to be initiated in his cult group, and that Mohbad had refused to do that. And that caused a strain in their relationship, forcing Mohbad to quit. Now, these are the 3 words on the streets. Allegedly. Well, that single decision by Mohbad to quit Malian Records may have brought about the very many woes that followed. Naira Marley is said to be an inexorable, grim individual, a very shrewd businessman.
People need to start appreciating the effort I put into not being a serial killer.
There are reports that he felt insulted and slighted by Mohbad's decision to exit his record label. He may have thought, oh, after I gave you a brand, gave you popularity, gave you a platform, you think that you can just quit on me? Well, we'll see about that. Now, there is a very close ally of Naira Marley called Samson Balugu, aka Sam Larry. You see, in every street, every city, every zanga, there are movers and shakers of that hood. And when I say movers and shakers in this context, I'm not referring to people that control the economy and prices of goods and services. No. I am talking about savage individuals who are used to execute dirty underground deals. And there is word on the streets that Sam Larry is your go-to guy in those affairs. Let me buttress further. During the last governorship election, it is no news that a particular sect of individuals were threatening some tribes not to come out and vote or risk being beaten, injured, or even killed. Now, there was a knife-wielding street urchin that was going around polling booth to polling booths, using machetes to threaten and beat up people who came to vote their preferred candidates. I'm talking about this guy. And guys, that guy, this is him with Sam Larry. So Sam Larry is popular. He is connected. I mean, look at this video of him with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He commands the streets, and he is Naira Marley's best friend and ally. He definitely is not the best guy to have on the opposite team. Not long after Mohbad left Naira Marley's record label, Sam Larry unleashed a plague of impish terror on him. He planted informants everywhere and tracked Mohbad to any destination. He always had his urchins around him, and they do not hesitate a second to give Mohbad a generous dose of beating. It almost seemed like he was acting out a script, an instruction, that since Mohbad has chosen to leave the record label, then he will not be able to do music for the rest of his life. Because he was tracked down everywhere, in studios, music video shoots,
let me do one deal. I think it's
at gigs and shows.
What you want to do? No. You don't do. You mean the beef that. You see what I'm married to, Mohbad?
Even down to his home, his rented apartment in Lekki. Scores of touts will storm his home, unleashing terror on him. Sam Larry and his touts ensured that Mohbad's legitimate business was constantly interrupted. They would disrupt his performances and then proceed to beat him, to strip him. Gosh, it seemed like he had no hiding place. They were everywhere. He was constantly living in panic, fear, and apprehension. The next day was not guaranteed. He was in constant dread. It was so bad that he reportedly got married but couldn't even celebrate a proper marriage. Like, he couldn't even celebrate his wedding because he was scared of what could happen at the venue. Even when he welcomed the son a few months ago, he couldn't even take to social media to announce it as people like him would typically do because he was scared for the lives of his family. He wept. He cried out. He voiced out. He said that if anything happens to him, we should hold his record label boss, Naira Marley, to account. He said it.
I'm a bad boy. No, my mama saw here. I don't really mean it like that from my mind. You mean it, so I don't know these people are behaving on me. They have been doing bad things on me. I went mad into it because of this issue. Now they are trying to kill me. Everybody in your world, please help me if I die. Oh, Amalia kill me. I beg, if I just Christy. Ọlọ́run gbà mí o. Jésù ẹ gbà mí o. Ọlọ́run ẹ gbà mí o. Jésù ẹ gbà mí o. Ah, look at all these people, sha. My God will never fuck me up. Never.
And what is also worthy of note is that in all the pictorial and video publication evidencing all the many assaults that he passed through, Mohbad never retaliated. He never even defended himself. He didn't want to fight. He just wanted his peace, his life, his sanity, his freedom. He just wanted his safety. These were robbed from him on a daily. When the threats, bullying and harassment became unbearable, Mohbad had to petition the Commissioner of Police, reporting Sam Larry and all the many things that he has been doing to him. A part of that petition read, on the 25th of June 2023, just a few months ago, while having a video shoot with another artist, the above mentioned persons, numbering about 15, led by Sam Larry Elegushi, invaded the premises with dangerous arms such as guns, cutlasses, etc. They scattered the whole process of the shooting, damaged the equipment I was using for the shoot, valued about 5 million naira, and in the process, they became violent and assaulted me, which I sustained injuries but narrowly escaped. During the assault, they were boasting that they work for Oba Elegushi, one of the very senior monarchs in Lagos, and that they have been asked to deal with me for reasons best known to them, which till date, they are still threatening to kill me if seen. The petition continues, but it's good I highlight that part. Despite all this cry for help, most unfortunately, no arrests were made. Absolutely nothing was done to protect this young man from his assailants, his aggressors. Not from the industry where he belonged, not from law enforcement agencies. This defenseless boy was out on a limb, on his own, on a battle that was too big for him to fight alone. When Mohbad got totally fed up and couldn't find any help on earth, he decided to take his own life. He attempted suicide.
I don't have to say this, but I'll say this. At the point, me and Mohbad were in an apartment, and Mohbad was like, he wants to jump from the upstairs because of this labor issue. But we go hold this boy for window. Mohbad don't almost jump. Now his girlfriend just enter room, see Mohbad sit down for window. You can't just keep going on that. And these people are just forming. There's nothing happening. Something is happening. Something will make you think, say you won't take your own life. Bruh, it's going to the extreme. Now you go happen, you go the right RIP, and we love them. No, there's no love there. And none of them will speak up. They inside that place. None of them won't look anybody high. This boy is going to a hospital for hypertension stuff. Why? Because say you dey labor. Bruh, no. It can't continue, bruh.
Right.
Yeah. So someone have to talk.
Somebody had to talk.
Yeah, and it's not fair.
The whole horror got him hypertensive at only 26 years of age. He was constantly under admission. His blood pressure was shooting up the roof. His wife has come out to recount on how he was always unhappy. How it was totally impossible for him to spend the full day being happy. He was depressed. He was hysterical. He was frightened. He had nowhere to run to. So this intimidation, bullying and constant attack spanned on for years until only a few days back, on the 12th of September, news got out that Promise Ileri Oluwa Oladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad, had passed. When news of Mohbad's death hit the internet, people were thrown into shock. Several theories as to the cause of his death began spreading like wildfire. The first supposition was that Mohbad had passed from an ear infection, that he was ill, he had an ear infection, an auxiliary nurse gave him an injection, and he started to react to the injection. On the way to conveying him to the hospital, he gave up the ghost in the car. That was the first. The second was that he had gone for a show, and after performing, his friend, his very close friend, allegedly kept on provoking him to a fight, and they eventually got into a scuffle, and in the process, this friend used a charm to hit him in the hand, after which he kept on complaining of pain and couldn't even make it to the hospital. He died from that incident. This is the second supposition making the rounds. And the third holds that Mohbad died from hypertension and depression, which was brought about by months and months of bullying, attacks, and horror unleashed on him by Sam Larry and his cohorts. You see, when a young man passes suddenly under suspicious and disputatious circumstances, I believe that more findings should be done to ascertain and uncover the true cause of his death. And I'm not alone. Many people share in my belief. So it was an added shock to many when only a few hours after Mohbad passed, he was horridly buried. We were all thinking that maybe he's a Muslim and his religion dictates that he be buried immediately. But alas, Mohbad is a Christian. His father is even a pastor in a white garment church, a cleric. So the big question begging answers is, why was Mohbad horridly buried in such a rush without caring to investigate and unravel the mysteries surrounding his sudden and untimely passing? Did you watch the burial videos? It will sure bring tears to your eyes. An undersized casket was brought in for him. And even when they discovered that that casket was undersized, he was a tall guy, he was still forced into it, squashed, sardined into that casket. They couldn't even spare extra time to go get a casket of his size. He was squeezed into that coffin, his neck bent on a 90-degree angle. It was gory to see. Why the rush? Why the hurry? Why the disrespect? There could be more videos, following up on this case. I just felt the need to give us a background into who this guy is and all the incidences that have led to his passing. But I would still like to hear from you guys. What do you think in all of this? What are your suspicions? What are your convictions? What are your beliefs? What are your thoughts? Which of these three theories are you more taken by? The ear infection, a spiritual attack, or a climax from all the harassment, hypertension, and depression that he has been going through as a result of the constant attacks? Let us hear your thoughts down in the comment section. That someday he would find rest. Someday all the pain will go away. And we certainly hope that now finally he would find some peace.
I don't break I don't go nothing off fire. I know there is a day all my pains will go away.
May God rest his soul. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. For those that have reached out to me inquiring on how to support my channel and go that extra mile in appreciation of the value of my content, do note that you can join my membership. Right down beside my name, you would see an inscription, join. You can join my membership and become part of the Neze Deluxe team. Thank you in advance. I'll see you guys in my next video. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Bye guys.
But I went, I'm there no more.